Well, we begin tonight with major breaking news regarding Providence's financial crisis.
As we first reported on WPRI.com, Mayor Taveras has reached a landmark deal with retirees and city workers aimed at saving Rhode Island's capital city from bankruptcy.
We've learned the tentative agreement would save the city an estimated $18.5 million during the upcoming fiscal year alone.
It would allow the city to set a cap on pensions, suspend cost of living increases for retirees for more than a decade, and move retirees from the city's health insurance plan to federally funded Medicare.
The landmark deal was reached after a judge ordered the mayor, public safety, retirees, and the city's three biggest unions into mediation over the proposed health care changes.
If approved, it could set a precedent for cash-strapped cities across the United States.
WPRI.com reporter Ted Nisi broke the story this afternoon. He joins us now live to explain why it is so significant.
And Ted, we want to ask you first off the bat, how much did the mayor get of what he wanted today?
You know, Tim White and I learned about this afternoon. The city got a huge amount of what it wanted. A cap on pension benefits, the end of those 5% and 6% compounded cost of living adjustments that have seen the retired fire chief get a nearly $200,000 pension. This is a big win for Mayor Taveras and somewhat of a surprise, since only a month ago the council passed changes unilaterally that the unions hated.
There was opposition and resistance before because many of those union leaders talked about already doing their fair share. So now why the switch?
I think, Mike, it's just a question of the city being out of money. We saw what happened in Central Falls, where pensions were cut 55% when the city filed for bankruptcy. Mayor Taveras has made no bones about the fact that he thinks that's where Providence could be headed if they didn't come to an agreement. And I'm sure union members who are being briefed on this as we speak won't like a lot of this, but they may feel this is their best option, a negotiated deal with the city.
So is this going to keep the capital city out of bankruptcy for good?
I think it looks much more likely that the city will avoid bankruptcy now. I think this is going to achieve, if it rolls out and gets approved, it still needs city council approval, union approval, and the retirees' approval. But if it does, the amount of savings here and the way they stretch out through the years to come should be able to keep Providence out of bankruptcy, which will be a big sigh of relief for everyone at City Hall.
All right, Ted, thank you. Ted Nisi helped break the story on this landmark agreement on WPRI.com today. Thanks again for joining us, Ted.
And you can read much more about this story on WPRI.com. And right now, Target 12 investigator Tim White is interviewing the mayor. He will have a live report on Providence's landmark agreement coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.